you.
Okay, it is 6 o'clock, 6:01. So we're definitely going to get started. So everybody is on time. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We are so very excited. My name's Claudine Locascio. I am the Executive Director of Japan America Society of Colorado. And we are here with a whole village, a whole community of people that help to make this happen. So I am just starting out, and I wanted to welcome you all here. In case you don't know Japan America Society, we are a nonprofit organization. We're located in central downtown Denver, Colorado, and our mission is creating relationships between Colorado and Japan. And we do lots of programming. Right now it's all online, but we do anticipate transitioning into in-person programming, hopefully this summer. But our programs all center around culture, education, and business experiences that connect Colorado and Japan. You can take a look at our website to learn more about us and learn about the programs that we're doing. But tonight we are absolutely thrilled. We have partnered with the Broomfield Ueda Sister City program, and we got tremendous support from the Japanese Arts Network that's based right here in Colorado, and also the Center for Global Partnership, which is based in New York City. So I want to thank both of those organizations for helping us, and you'll hear more from Japanese Arts Network in just 1 minute. I also wanted to note, because of all of this support, we have been able to do lots of programs for free, which is such a great luxury for a nonprofit, and we're thrilled that we're able to do that. But we are a nonprofit, and if by any chance anybody wanted to make a donation to help us out, that is available on our website as well. And any donation that's made tonight will be split between Japan America Society and the Broomfield Ueda Sister City program. And with that, I'd like to turn this over to Junko Goodwin, who really represents both organizations. She does a tremendous amount of work and has become an integral part of Japan America Society. And she also heads up the Broomfield Ueda Sister City program. So Junko, please, thank you for all your work pulling this together, and please take it from here.
All right. So I'm Junko. Like Claudine said, I wear the both hats, and I am presenting today as Sister City, Ueda, and also JASC. And we are here today to enjoy cooking along with the Kaori Baker. We are going to have a lot of fun with this mochi. You probably heard a lot about it, but have no idea how it's done. So this is the chance for you to embrace your interest to the Japanese cooking and maybe make it your own. And our program with the Sister City has been 20 years with Ueda in Japan. And we just celebrated the anniversary, and we're keeping up with a lot of new virtual events and along with the Sister City students exchange. So this is going to happen again in 2020. We had to cancel 2 years in a row. So we're excited for 2022. All right, now Courtney is actually a member of Broomfield Sister City, and also she's the one that connected us with Kaori today. So Courtney, please.
Thanks, Junko. I'm also a member of the Japan America Society, Colorado. So yay. So grateful to be able to bring Kaori Becker here today to join us and teach us about the wonderful world of mochi. I'm the founder of the Japanese Arts Network, and We work to bring together artists, stakeholders, and audiences to do work in meaningful ways and uplift Japanese artists in America. And I just wanted to share a couple of things about Kaori. So I met Kaori actually through my connection to the US-Japan Council, which is another community organization that is in Colorado, and I happen to be a chair of the Mountain Plains region. So lots of organizations represented here today. So grateful for Kaori for being here. I just wanted to share a couple of things about her. So she grew up in the Bay Area, and she is Hapa, half Japanese. And she was surrounded by her mother Yukiko's Japanese home cooking. And she had learned that her grandmother, I won't tell too much because she'll probably share more about herself, but she had learned that her grandmother owned a ramen shop in Fukushima, Japan. And so she went to Japan to study and specialize in cooking ramen from scratch. But when she came back to the States, she learned that she was interested in teaching as well as cooking. And so she and her mother started her business, Kaori's Kitchen, in San Francisco. And so you can actually still order manju from her mother if you're ever in the Bay Area. And I think Jessica's going to share a link because I highly encourage you to do so. I know a lot of people here visit California often. But in any case, her mission is to deepen relationships through authentic interactions while cooking and create a space where conscious individuals, friends, and family can come together to make a positive difference in their local community. So I just think that she's such a wonderful human and artist, and I'm so grateful to be able to welcome her to share with us today. So thanks, Kaori.
Thank you, Courtney, and thank you everybody here. This is such an honor to be here and to be part of this initiative. So many awesome organizations coming together. And yeah, so I think, yeah, like Courtney said, I started a cooking business with my mom in August 2016, back when I was living in the Bay Area. We did a lot of mochi classes. We did Airbnb experiences. And my mom's still doing cooking classes also at the same time as I am. So she does mochi classes, and we work with companies and team building and things like that. And yeah, I'm really happy to be here with you to make strawberry daifuku. So we're going to be making white mochi in the microwave or on the stovetop and fill it with strawberry and red bean paste. And then we're also going to be making a mochi brownie also. So I'll be also talking about the book. If you have any questions about, this is Mochi Magic. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Target. And it has a lot of recipes, 50 different recipes, ranging from daifuku mochi to mochi brownies, mochi waffles, mochi pancakes, manju, and how to make bean paste, and everything from traditional to modern. So yeah, this was published last November. So, and if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and we have a lot of moderators today, so they'll be helping out. So, great. I'm gonna just get into it. So our first recipe is gonna be mochi brownies, since it's gonna bake while we're making the mochi daifuku. Mochi daifuku means big luck in Japan, and mochi is such a symbol of generosity and a symbol of good luck. And my mom actually makes mochi every year in the new year with her mochi machine. She steams the rice and the mochi machine pounds it for her, and then she gives mochi out to all of her friends. Actually, she puts them in little containers and gives them out as a New Year's gift. So it's really like a big tradition in the new year to have mochi soup, which is called ozoni. And then eating this, the kind of mochi we're making today is kind of just more casual mochi, not really like formal. It's something you can make easily and quickly and bring to a party, and use any kind of seasonal fruit. Like we're using strawberry, but you can use ripe mangoes and any kinds of things like that. So let's preheat our oven to 350 to get started. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we're gonna get together with our ingredients. So our first and most important ingredient is mochiko. This is actually sweet glutinous rice. It doesn't have any gluten, but it's glutinous, meaning it's very sticky. And yeah, as you know, mochi is super sticky. So, and this rice flour is made by a third generation Los Angeles family, actually. And coincidentally, they're also from Fukushima. The great grandfather who started the farm is from Fukushima, and my mom's from Fukushima too. So it's kind of a cool connection. So yeah, we're gonna start with 1.5 cups of the powdered sweet rice flour, and also 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. I heard there was a typo about cocoa butter, and I truly apologize for that. If you don't have cocoa powder, I would say you can watch this video later and make it, or you can make the batter now and then save it in the fridge, get some cocoa powder and add it in, and then you can bake it tomorrow or something like that, or this evening. So it's 1/4 cup cocoa powder and 1.5 cups of mochiko. I'm just gonna put it into my bowl here. Gonna whisk that together. And then we're gonna do 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder. And the great thing about mochiko is it's actually really versatile. You can use it in pancakes, waffles. It's the best type of mochi rice flour to use for baked goods. So I highly recommend using that. I'm gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of salt also. And then I'm gonna go in.
Howdy,
Oh, yeah,
somebody just asked if you could use matcha powder instead of cocoa powder.
Yes, yes, I believe you can use matcha powder.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
And then we're gonna go in with a cup of brown sugar. If you don't have brown sugar, I would say use a cup of white sugar. I know some people don't have time to get brown sugar. And then we're gonna go in with a 1/4 cup of oil, any kind of vegetable oil, and a 1/4 cup of melted butter. So I actually put them together in one thing. It's just 1/4 cup of oil and a 1/4 cup of melted butter. Someone said too fast. Can we get written instructions? So I can slow down.
Can you repeat the amounts and I'll type them in as you say them?
Yeah, sure. So it's 1.5 cups of mochiko powder, 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of brown sugar.
1 cup.
Yes. And then a 1/4 cup of oil and a 1/4 cup of melted butter. And then we're gonna do 1 egg also.
And it was a 1/4 cup of the cocoa powder, right? I think we didn't say
Oh yeah, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. That's right.
powder. And then 1 egg, you just said?
Yes, 1 egg.
Okay.
And then we're gonna also go in with a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm gonna grab 1.25 cups of milk, whole milk, and put that in there also. Let's grab that right here. All right, let's stir this all up. Yeah, another recipe in the book is mochi donuts, and they use very similar ingredients to the brownie, where you're using mochiko and eggs and butter and a little bit of honey even, and it makes really deliciously chewy mochi donuts. So
Yum.
yeah, it's a really fun recipe.
So you couldn't substitute mochiko flour for regular flour, could you?
Oh, for
For
well,
other recipes or things? Is it a 1-to-1 replacement or not really?
I think you kind of could, but then you wouldn't get the mochi texture.
Yeah.
So, right, like you could just look up a regular brownie recipe. But I mean, for gluten-free people, I think it's a really great replacement. Like I think for a lot of baked, like I've looked up baked goods for my husband who doesn't eat gluten right now, and I've replaced it with just a cup of mochiko instead of a cup of flour, and it's behaved pretty well for me.
Oh,
So
that's really good to know.
yeah. Okay, so I've mixed this up thoroughly. Okay, and we're gonna spray a 9x9 or 8x8 dish, or if you have something similar to that, just gonna spray it with some oil. Okay. Oops. Yeah, I would say baked mochi is kind of a modern thing, right? Like the mochi donuts is kind of up and coming right now in the
Yeah.
Bay Area and everywhere else. And then daifuku is very traditional. So mochi is kind of taking over. That's what my mom and I say.
That's
Mochi is,
so exciting. The first time I went to Japan was 1989. And when I got home, nobody I knew had ever heard of mochi. But I was like, it's the greatest thing ever.
yeah, it's so true. I feel like people still don't know. I feel like more people know about mochi donuts than regular mochi a lot of times.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I
sure
feel like
you're right.
Yeah, I think people are really warming up, and my whole family is involved in the mochi business now. You know, my mom makes mochi every weekend. We both teach mochi classes. I have a mochi donut shop here in Columbus, and we're doing
do?
farmers market. Yeah, it's called the Mochi Shop on Instagram.
Oh my goodness.
And we do baked mochi donuts with different kinds of unique glazes and toppings. So
Wow. Okay, that's good to know.
yeah, so I have the batter in here, and I'm gonna just scatter a half cup of chocolate chips on top.
There's a great mochi muffin place here now in Denver.
Oh,
No
I
way,
missed it.
really?
What's the name of that again?
Oh my
They-
gosh.
I emailed them.
Third culture?
Yeah,
Or wait,
Oh yeah, third culture. Yeah.
Yeah, so it started somewhere else, right? But it's here now as well, and we have a couple of them.
I haven't been there. I need to go there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I've been
They're
going to
kind of-
Beard Papa.
Yeah.
I need to cut that one off.
Yeah, third culture. Yes, I went to their. I knew about them when I lived in Bay Area in Berkeley. That's where they started. So, okay, so I'm gonna put this in the oven now. It has the chocolate chips scattered on top. Or actually, my oven's not quite ready, so I'm gonna wait a little bit. Put this aside, and
How
I'll
long
just
will
talk.
that cook for?
I would say 45 minutes or so.
Okay.
Yeah, so we might not finish it during class, but yeah, about 45 minutes.
At 350, you said?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna wash my hands really quick.
Kadi, do you know if Pacific Mercantile in Denver carries your book?
I don't know.
Okay, we will ask them, and if they don't, we'll recommend it to them. Because I know
Are they a gift shop? Or something?
they're actually a grocery store. If you ever come here, we'll have to take you. But they're the oldest Japanese, or the only real Japanese specific grocery store in Colorado, and they're right downtown. And they carry a lot of different cooking books, local and not. So it'd be great to have yours in there.
Yeah.
And they sell some kitchenware stuff as well.
They've been owned by the same family for over 70 years.
Wow. Yeah. I really want to visit that place if I visit Denver.
Yeah, let us know anytime you come. We'll take you there.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I still have my oven's at 310 right now. So I'm just going to talk about the ingredients for the next dish we're making. So you can just like prep this ahead of time right now. But right now I have 1 cup of mochiko, the same thing we use for the brownies. We're using it also for the daifuku. So it has many different uses, and throughout the book I use mochiko a lot. And then I have our strawberries. So I have I've cut the bottoms off of the strawberry, so it's a whole strawberry. I chose the small strawberries for this to make it whole. And then for the large strawberries, I cut them like this, where it's like a cross section. And this is going to be for our strawberry daifuku. Yeah, so we're going to have maybe 3 small whole ones where I just cut the stem off, and then 4 of these just thickly cut horizontal pieces. Because I'm going to show you 2 ways to do it. And then red bean paste, hopefully you have it. This is a good brand. It's made in Japan, actually. So I think you've seen it before. But they have the whole bean kind, and they have a mashed kind. So I like to use the mashed one. And this is technically called subu-an. There's koshi-an, which is smooth bean paste. And then there's subu-an, which is coarse adzuki bean paste. And I like the coarse one because I like the texture a lot of the beans in there. And then I have a 1/4 cup of sugar. Technically in our recipe, we say 1/2 cup, but I personally like things a little less sweet. So I use a 1/4 cup, and it works out fine for the mochi recipe. And I have my bean paste already in a bowl right here to use. And we also have cornstarch here. So that's going to be important for shaping our mochi. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the daifuku actually while the oven's heating up still. So it's very simple. I'm going to put the 1 cup of mochiko in a large microwavable bowl. If anyone has only stovetop, just let us know in the chat and I can run you through how to do the stovetop, but it's very simple. I'm going to do, okay, so some people have only stove. I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of sugar. I'll get to the stove part in a second after we mix it all up. And then I'm going to add 1 cup of water. So the ratio for when you're making daifuku, actually the water and the mochiko are always going to be the same exact ratio. So whether you're making, 3 cups of mochiko or, just 2 cups, it's always going to be 1-to-1 ratio. And then the sugar is always going to be half of the ratio. In my case, I do a 1/4 because I like it less sweet. But so whatever you do, if you're going to make like 1 cup makes about 7 mochi, so you can multiply the recipe to make however many you want. And I'm gonna get a cup of water right now. Okay, I'm gonna add a cup of water to the sugar and the mochiko. And we're gonna whisk that until it's completely smooth.
How much red bean paste are you using? Or you're not using that whole can, are you?
No, I'm using about probably 1/3 of the can, I would say. So maybe about a 1/2 cup. Okay, so it doesn't take long. This is very smooth now. Just make sure there's no lumps in it. And then for stovetop method, you're gonna put your, hopefully you have nonstick pot, but if you don't have nonstick, that's okay too. You're gonna put the whole batter in and turn it to medium-high heat and constantly stir it with a wooden spatula or a plastic spatula. And you have to constantly stir it so it doesn't burn on the bottom. And keep doing that until we're finished with the microwave process. It should take about 8 minutes or so.
No bean paste. I think you kind of need the bean paste. Oh, Nutella. Was Nutella an option?
Yes, you can definitely use Nutella instead of red bean paste.
Oh, good.
I would go ahead and put your Nutella in the freezer right now, actually, because Nutella gets firmer when it's refrigerated or frozen. But since we're on a time crunch, toss it in the freezer now, and then it'll be like a peanut butter paste instead of a liquid, and it'll be a lot easier. It'll be like a bean paste consistency. So I would toss it in the freezer now while we're making the mochi part. So I'm gonna put this in the microwave for 2 minutes first, then we'll stir it and then another 2 minutes. Oh. I forgot this microwave just broke, so I'm using a different one. Okay. For 2 minutes, you're gonna be microwaving it. Make sure your microwave is maximum heat, the highest possible power. So for Nutella, you're gonna have about the same amount. I would say like, make sure you put in the freezer and then take out a half cup of it.
Should I have the bean paste off to the side or should I have put it into the mix already?
It's not in the mix already.
No, the bean paste doesn't go in yet. It's we don't put any bean paste. It's on the side right now. We're gonna use it to fill the mochi. So right now we're just making the mochi dough. And then, oh, and I put my brownies in the oven right now. So make sure you do that. I'll slow down for you. So I'm gonna take some cornstarch, or you can use Japanese katakuriko or potato starch, and put a small handful, about maybe an 1/8 cup on here, and just spread it out. And this is where our dough is gonna go, because mochi dough is really sticky and really hot. So if you were to dump it directly onto a cutting board, it would stick onto the cutting board, it would stick on your hands, and it'd be really painful. It's really, it'd burn you and also stick everywhere. So mochi's delicious, but it's also kind of a monster at the same time.
Hey, Kari,
Yeah.
are you going to also share the stove top version or?
Yeah, so yeah, if you're doing stovetop, you should put it on medium-high heat and just continually stir it. Like demonstrate it?
No, just share with the people who don't have a microwave.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, just do medium-high heat, consistently stirring like the whole time. And yeah, it should get more sticky and glossy and firmer as you go.
Thank you.
Yeah. So as you can see, it's kind of unevenly cooked. It cooks on the outside, but then the inside is still very doughy. So we need to mix it up, even out the cooking. So I'm going to mix it with a rice spoon. And yeah, you can tell when you mix it that part of it's cooked and part of it's still really like a batter. And that's just why we have to mix it in between. Does Denver have like daifuku mochi places, like handmade kind, or not really?
No, we get fugetsudo. Like it gets shipped here to Pacific. I think it's I don't want to give away secrets. I think it's every Tuesday or Thursday. I can't remember. But yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that there's a place unless maybe does Enchanted Oven do it? I don't think so.
Not that I've seen.
Yeah, so there's not really. We have a couple of Japanese bakeries. We have Enchanted Oven and Tokyo Premium Bakery, but they don't have daifuku. So this is a treat.
Oh,
Maybe somebody here, that's an opportunity. Daifuku business.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity. So I'm gonna put in the microwave for 2 more minutes here, and then it'll be ready to go.
Kari, there was a question if you've ever used coconut milk instead of water. That sounds yummy.
It does.
Yeah, there's actually, if you use coconut milk, it's exactly, well, let's see, it's about the same recipe we used, except do 3/4 cup coconut milk and 1/4 cup water, just to make sure it's liquidy enough. But it's really yummy. I like to fill it with Nutella actually, or fill it with haupia, which is a Hawaiian coconut pudding, which is really easy to make with coconut milk and cornstarch and sugar, and you just refrigerate it and it turns into these cubes. You can fill the mochi with it.
That sounds insane. It sounds so good.
Gosh.
Yeah, but even just the coconut mochi with Nutella on the inside and then coconut flakes on the outside is really yummy too.
Yum.
Can you tell me how much cornstarch there was in that mix?
It's not in the actual mix. It's only on the cutting board, so
Oh,
it's
good.
just a 1/8 cup.
1/8. Thank you.
Mhm.
I was wondering, I couldn't find Mochico, and so I got this rice flour. They said it would work. Does it work okay?
Let me see what you have there. I'm trying to flip over to you. Oh yes, the Karen. Is that Karen?
Yes.
Oh yeah. So that yes, I know that rice flour. It's a Thai sweet rice flour. So it works really good for daifuku. Like you can do the same proportions for the recipe, but for mochi brownie or any kind of mochi baked good, it acts very differently.
Okay.
So like you might have to do 3/4, if you're gonna do mochi brownie, you can do 3/4 cup of that Thai rice flour and then 1/4 cup of regular flour. Or yeah, something like that. I'm not sure if you're gluten free, so maybe like a 1/4 cup
got
of
gluten in it because it says glutinous.
Oh no, it's actually glutinous, like sticky, but it's not gluten.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people get confused about that because this is also technically glutinous rice, but it's a different, the I and the E, yeah, it just means really sticky. That's all it means. Yeah.
Okay. The other question I had, I was looking for cocoa butter and I went to several stores and they did not have any. Where did everyone get their cocoa butter?
I'm so sorry. That was actually a typo in the recipe. It's cocoa powder, not cocoa butter.
Oh, you know what?
And
Okay.
I'm happy to send whoever got cocoa butter. I'm so sorry. I'm happy to send you some Mochi Magic stickers for your for your for your hard work, and I feel bad about that. So you can email whoever is in contact with you about the class with your address and stuff like that. But I'm so sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Okay, so the mochi came out and it should be very sticky by now. You can kind of see it here.
That looks
Very
amazing.
yeah, it changes a lot. It's changes from like a batter into like a really sticky consistency.
Wow.
So I'm just giving it one final mix to make sure it cooks well and evenly.
Junko, how is yours? Good? Good.
And yeah, so I'm just giving it a mix, and then actually I'm gonna put it on directly onto this cornstarch covered cutting board. So I'm just putting the whole mass of mochi onto there.
There's a question that somebody said there's dried out and wondering if they should add water. Could they add water if it got too dry?
Yeah, they could mix in a little bit of water. I'd say not too much, like a tablespoon. Okay, so it's very hot right now. So usually I let it cool a little bit just for a couple minutes or so. But if you're very daring, my mom will just work with it while it's hot. And I'll do that too. But you have to be prepared to be it's very hot. So usually I coat my hands with a ton of cornstarch or potato starch. And then what I do is there's two ways to do this. You can either do like the cheating method, which is use a scatter cornstarch all over the top right now, just like this. And then you can use a knife to cut it into pieces. But if you want to do more traditional, you actually put a lot in your hands. You're going to scoop under it. You're going to have to use your nails, scoop under it, and kind of just roll it. Roll it in the starch until basically the whole thing is covered in starch. Yeah, it's still very hot right now. How are we doing on time, by the way? I don't want to go over time, so.
I think we're good on time.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, don't worry about that. We're okay.
Okay. So while this is cooling down, one thing we can actually do is go ahead and make our bean paste into little balls. So I'm taking about a tablespoon of bean paste and just rolling it into a ball. It's okay if you have starch in your hands. It actually helps you to handle the bean paste better. So I'm just rolling these into balls, and we're going to put them on top of the strawberry soon. Okay. Okay, so we're going to cut the mochi soon. And I'll show you 2 ways to do this. You can actually use a knife, even a butter knife. And what I'm doing is I'm measuring about 1.5 inches worth, and I'll just cut it here. And then I'll have a piece of mochi right there. Just like that. That's actually a really easy way. The other traditional way of doing it is you use your left hand and pinch the mochi and then pull it off. So I get in there, I pinch it, and then I pull it off with the other hand. But if you're just starting out, I recommend this, just cut it with the butter knife. It's a lot easier. So we're gonna cut them into like 1.5 inches in width, maybe about this size. And you should get about 6 or 7 pieces out of your big mochi mound. Looks like I'm gonna get 7 pieces this time. Okay, and then we can just kind of round out each piece and let it rest. You might need to add a little more starch to your fingers. It gets really, really sticky. So make sure everything's starched enough. Yeah, for some mochi stories, while we're waiting, my mom said in Japan when she was growing up in Fukushima, they would actually throw mochi from the foundation of a new house. So they would throw it to anybody nearby, and it was kind of celebrating the building of the house, and I think good luck for the house, but also generosity, giving to other people. And I think a lot of people associate, or Japanese people associate generous. Like if you're generous, it's a good thing. You know, like good things will come to you if you can give good things to other people. So I think mochi represents that a lot. Like my mom giving mochi to all her friends in the new year. And then I think it's because in Japan, a lot of people rely on rice as a main part of their diet. So it's a huge part of the culture there. Did somebody comment about the foundation rice throwing?
Yeah.
I did. I went to one when I was living in Miyazaki, and I got like elbowed by an old man trying to get that mochi. They do not mess around.
Oh, wow. That's so funny. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of us really miss Japan, visiting Japan, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so You might notice that right now the mochi looks, if you flip it over, it kind of looks more ugly on this side. This is actually the side that we're going to fill so that you don't have to see this side and you see the more pretty side. So we're going to go ahead and do this version first with the cut strawberry. I'm going to take, this is about 1.5 inches in width here. So I'm going to flip it over to the ugly side. And then I'm going to take the strawberry and put it right in the middle of my mochi here. I'm going to take my 1 tablespoon of red bean paste and just mash it on top until the top of the strawberry is covered. Okay, and then I think I'm going to rotate the camera for this part here, just so you can see. I'm going to put this on the cutting board and I'm actually going to stretch the sides and then pinch it to the middle here. Trying to see if you can see that. And then I'm going to stretch the other sides and pinch it to the middle also, so that now you have kind of a little package. And then might get sticky, so add a little starch. And then I'm going to pinch all the rest to the middle. Basically, you want to seal in the filling. And this side doesn't have to look pretty at all because you're going to flip it over. So then you flip it over and you can round it out. Kind of pat it down a little bit, make it nice and a nice shape. And then let's see. Yeah, if you have a pastry brush, it's really, you can brush off your mochi, get all that excess starch off of there. If you want to. Some people like that starch look. And then that's your mochi. You're pretty much ready to eat that now.
Wow.
Yeah, no other cooking required. So let's do that again. I'm going to take another piece of strawberry here, put it in the middle. This might look like I'm not leaving a lot of space, but the mochi is very stretchy, as you can tell. So like you can fold it over the filling. I'm going to put the red bean on top again. I'm going to put it on the cutting board and pinch it over the top. Just going to keep pinching it over the top until everything's sealed in. Then I'm going to flip it over and brush it off. Okay, let's just do one more of those and then we can move on to the other type. This is a really big strawberry. I hope it'll work. Sometimes the strawberry is really huge. And sometimes the mochi will tear here, but if it does, just add some powdered or cornstarch to your fingers and just try to pinch it. The mochi usually can stick to itself really easily, so it's easy to repair little holes and things like that. Okay. All right, so I guess I'll move on to the whole strawberry method if nobody has questions. I wonder how everybody's doing so far with that. Junko, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You look good. I've been watching you.
Well, I have an advantage. My father was a baker. I grew up in a bakery shop.
Really?
So
Yeah, you look like you're a pro already.
So
that's very cool. I like how you're made. So you have experience making mochi already, right? I can
yes.
tell.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because I think everybody has a different way of doing it. And I noticed
Right.
that Junko's way is like, she's kind of putting the filling in and then like squeezing the sides until it all meets in the middle. So it's interesting how people have different ways of making the same thing.
Right.
I can't wait to try it because you're making it look so easy and I can't believe it's that easy. So
It
we'll
is
see when I
actually-
actually try to do it.
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier than people think. And the only part is that when you get messed up is getting like the mochi stuck to you and stuck to your cutting board.
Right.
But besides that, it's pretty, yeah,
Wow.
it's pretty easy. So I'm gonna take
It's
the
very big.
full strawberry here. And I do want to see everybody's mochi at one point. But I'm gonna take another tablespoon of bean paste. I'm actually gonna push it on top of the strawberry. This is for the whole strawberry method. So I'm covering the top of the strawberry. And I use some cornstarch when it gets hard to shape it. So if it gets too sticky to my hands, I use cornstarch to make sure it's shaped around it. So you don't have to get this bottom part, but just make sure it's like 3/4 of the way covered. And then I'm not gonna put it straight on here like this. I'm actually gonna make it upside down like this. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna be pinching it to the top, just like the last one. This one's a little harder because the strawberry piece is huge. But hopefully your mochi is sticky enough still. You can kind of see the strawberry breaking through the top a little bit. And this one's a lot taller too because the strawberry
Your
is so big.
strawberries look so good. Yeah, good ones there.
Yeah. I'm
Is
really
there
excited
any, can you use any other kind of fresh fruit in, I know it's not necessarily traditional, but.
Yeah, you can totally use, we like to use mango, like really juicy ripe mango. And mango and red bean are really good together. Mango and Nutella are really good together. Oh yeah, if you have your Nutella, I hope you took it out of the freezer by now and you're using it in place of the red bean. Yeah, and then what else do we do? You can do like fresh oranges, like take the peel off and like a fresh orange piece with red bean. Also, any kind of juicy fruit will work. Even like blueberries can work really well. Raspberries are really good. Raspberry and Nutella mochi is really yummy too.
Wow. What about peaches or something like that?
Yeah, peaches sound really good.
It does, but I don't know. Does that go with red bean paste, do you think?
Yeah, I think it really could. I feel like red bean is very like neutral. It's just like a light sweet flavor, so you can really pair any kind of fruit with it.
Right.
So the cool thing about the whole strawberry method is you can cut it. I'm gonna get a sharper knife because this one's not so sharp. You can cut it and see like the cross section of the strawberry. And it's just really pretty that way. You can even serve it like in little cupcake containers with it cut open like this.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. This one's really pretty too because you can kind of see the light strawberry color showing through the top. So I think both ways are really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna do a whole strawberry method again, just for everybody to see again. So I'm gonna take a tablespoon and put it all over the top here. Yeah, so like Junko-san, your way of doing is really interesting. It looks like she's like you're pinching it to the middle, like through squeezing it almost. Like,
Yeah,
did your dad did that, you said?
that's right.
So your dad had a mochi shop?
Well, he had a whole Japanese pastry shop. So from my mochi to all kind of all you name it, they have it.
Wow, that's really cool.
So, yeah. We actually had my dad come
and taught how to make the strawberry daifuku with the sister city member.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been about 6-7 years. He was actually here and he actually put his hands on to the kids and he taught everybody how to wrap it and we had a great time.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. Oh,
So Kari, these are ready to eat now, right? They won't be cooked. They're because
Yes,
they're
that's right.
steamed
They're ready to
versions,
eat right
right?
now.
But yeah.
Yeah, so
but if you don't put strawberry in, just the pastry, my parents used to cook it afterwards. Like a second day, the mochi gets harder. So you put it in the oven and then in a toaster. Yeah. Well,
Mochi in the toaster, it gets all puffy, right?
yeah, it puffs up and it's just a little different.
wow, interesting.
Yeah, but you can't put that a strawberry in because that will ruin
Yeah.
it.
Right. With the strawberry, it does tend to get really juicy overnight, like
Mhm.
start to get liquidy. So you kind of have to eat it on the same day.
Can they
But
be? Peggy asked if they could be refrigerated, though.
So usually we don't refrigerate because it gets really hard, the mochi. So, but you can actually freeze it. Actually, you can leave it at room temperature for a long time, maybe up to 7 hours on the counter. And then for red bean mochi, you can actually freeze it and then let it defrost, and it'll have the same consistency too.
Yeah, mochi can last in a freezer for a long time, huh, Kaori?
Yeah, a long time. And then you take it out, let it defrost for a couple hours, and it tastes very similar. And I like to put them in like little cupcake containers. You can get those really quick. Yeah, so usually my mom and I put them in little cupcakes containers, little cupcake wrappers, and then put them in a Tupperware and keep it at room temperature. Or also it's important to cover it in the Tupperware because it will dry out if you don't cover it. So if you're storing it, yeah, it's good to do that.
Is everybody doing good?
Yeah,
We're
let's
making
see how
progress.
everybody's doing.
Yeah,
If anyone-
do, everybody who's cooking should hold them up so I can take a picture.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Doug, yours look really good.
Wow.
Wow,
Oh,
good
and
job.
Eric and Rebecca. Oh my goodness.
Wow,
Look
they
great.
look very good.
Oh, Jody, nice. Stephanie, I see. Okay, wait, I gotta get some pictures. That's so great.
I'm very impressed. It looks like
Thanks,
everybody did
too.
pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Very nice.
Great work.
And the more you make this, the better you'll get at pinching and folding it. So
May I ask what's the difference
wow.
between May I ask what's the difference between these and the ones in the store that are frozen?
Oh,
Like
the mochi ice cream, that's really popular in Colorado right now.
Yes, mochi ice cream. I actually use the same recipe to make mochi ice cream, but then you have to get the wrapper really thin. So I usually roll it with a rolling pin and then use like a cookie cutter to cut it out. And then I freeze the ice cream ahead of time in little balls in like saran wrap. And so they're really hardened until like the ball shape, and then you can quickly wrap it in the mochi and then put it back in the freezer.
Oh,
Because it melts really quickly when you're working with the mochi.
yeah, I bet.
Yeah. I think this mochi bread smells like it's. Let's see. Oh, it's not done yet. Yeah. don't think this hasn't been 45 minutes yet. So.
Do you have mochi ice cream recipe in your book?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have mochi ice cream in there too.
Okay.
Oh, also another cool filling for mochi is if you make truffles. Truffles are really easy to make. You just use heavy cream, chocolate chips, and that's it pretty much. And so you microwave the heavy cream, make it really hot, add the chocolate chips and let it melt and stir it up. And then you put it in the refrigerator for a slower time or freezer. And then within 30 minutes, you have this kind of really thick consistency, and then you roll it in balls, and then you can fill your mochi with that. So you get like a chocolate truffle on the inside, and you can also do it with matcha truffles. So instead of dark chocolate, you use white chocolate, and you mix matcha powder, and then you use the hot heavy cream, and super easy and quick filling too. Yeah, that's also. Yeah, there's more in-depth instructions, kind of like how we did in the book too. Just step by step, how to pinch the mochi, and then doing the truffles.
If you're checking on the brownies, would just a regular like toothpick or knife inserted tell you if it's done? Yeah.
Yeah, if it comes out clean, then it's ready to go.
It's smelling really good.
Yeah, I think
I'm so curious about those. So is the consistency very different from a regular brownie?
it just has slightly added chewiness to it, which
Yeah.
is kind of addicting. Yeah, it's definitely different. It tastes familiar like a brownie, but it has like a bouncy chewiness.
Yeah.
So
Claudia, there's a question about mochi manju, and is this called mochi manju? And then I don't actually know. My mom's on here. She might know about the kind that they sell at Cherry Blossom Festival.
I've
and
eaten
if
those a lot at Cherry
I
Blossom.
can't remember if that's like this or if it's steamed.
oh, yeah, this same recipe you can actually use in the steamer too.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is just like a quick version. But you can also put this when you use a steamer, you have to use a double-decker one with like the little holes in the top shelf, and then you have to put a tightly woven wet cloth on top of the holes, and then pour the batter on top, and then close the lid. It does take a lot. It takes like 30 minutes to steam on like medium-high heat. And
Yeah, I think that's what they do. Oh, she says yes. So yeah, this is the same type of manju though that they make for Cherry Blossom Festival, Phyllis.
So it
Yeah.
stays soft quite a long time, doesn't it? I mean, if you store it, stays. I know they wrap theirs in saran right away. So then it stays soft for a couple days. Is that true?
Yeah, I think if you limit the air contact, it can stay soft for like a couple days.
Okay.
Mhm. As long as it's not too cold in the air.
Okay. Because I have a mochi machine and it doesn't make that kind of mochi.
Right. Yeah, the
It gets
mochi
hard right
machine
away.
one- Yeah, I think because it doesn't have any sugar in it, it's just like plain white rice, plain
Right.
sticky rice. It
Yep.
doesn't have anything to keep it soft. So.
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, it's just the rice and water.
Mm-hmm.
Just steam it. So, okay. Good.
I hope everybody got to taste some of their mochi already.
My mouth is watering.
Yeah.
Maybe I should eat it in front of the camera.
You should, Junko.
I'll do
How
it.
good it tastes.
I will do it.
Yeah, you totally should.
Oh, good.
Mm.
Eric says
Yum.
it's good. This is good.
Oh, did you see that video of the dad and the little boy like eating the mom? His wife made mochi filled with different things like wasabi, and then
Oh no, is that what you're talking about there with the
there's
roulette?
mochi roulette, and then yeah, there's a little boy and the dad, and they're both tasting these mochi, and they're filled with like random things.
Oh, that's funny.
So this is my dinner tonight.
It's true. It is full of a lot of carbs.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
builds you up.
yeah, it fills you up.
Do you have a favorite one, Kali? Like your favorite mochi manju?
Yeah, let's see. I really like Nutella and strawberry a lot because you have the sweet Nutella and the slightly tart strawberry, and I like green matcha truffle mochi,
Oh, yum.
and also matcha mixed with cream cheese and a little powdered sugar, and you make balls and fill it. It's very like
I
creamy.
got my brownie.
Oh, look.
Yay! It looks good.
It does look good.
The texture looks a little different than the regular ones. I
So
didn't have a chocolate chips, so.
how do you store the brownies? Can you just wrap them or Tupperware or something? Do they need refrigeration?
Oh yeah, never refrigerate anything that is made with mochiko actually, because the rice just hardens. Kind of like how your rice gets hard when you save it in the fridge. The same thing happens. So.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, but make sure to cover it with plastic wrap so it doesn't get dry too.
That's good.
My other favorite thing you make, Kali, is the cute little animals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's right on the cover of the book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I watched you do it on NHK, like on the video.
Oh.
But that takes a lot of different ingredients, right, Carly?
You can actually. I recommend like neri-kiri is what they use for wagashi, and you do a mix of you actually make mochi dough, and then like we did, and then you add white bean paste to it, and you mix it all together, and it becomes this like Play-Doh texture. But honestly, in my experience, it's a little bit challenging. So I feel like you can I recommend if you want to have a mochi party, just use edible markers and draw directly on the mochi. And,
That's a great idea.
It's a lot easier, and you don't have to do that extra step of making the neri-kiri. And you can even do like take fruit, and so let me see if I can make a cute thing.
Then were you able to take a picture with everyone's?
I did. Yep. I mean, as best I could, but yep.
Okay. All right. I think it's almost time. Does anybody have more questions?
I'm not the best artist, but I attempted to make a strawberry little bunny.
Oh,
that's cute.
But you can get these edible markers at Joann's or any kind
Edible
of
marker.
Yeah.
I've seen those at what's the one? The Michael's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, Michael's.
I see. I see.
Okay, hang on. Wait, here's a couple questions. Tell us more about the mochi making machine, and can it be bought in the US?
Yeah, I believe it's on Amazon. I think they're pretty pricey. They're like 200 or 250 or something. But it is a heavy duty machine, and it'll last you a long time.
Ours cost us about 400, but that Zoroshi, is that the brand? I think. That, yeah. All of them were between 300 and 400.
Yeah, they aren't cheap, that's for sure. But they're really heavy duty and well made. So my mom's been using hers for many, many years, maybe 15, 20 years. So.
And you don't use the mochiko, you use what do you call mochi rice? Sweet rice?
Yeah, let me see here.
If anybody wants to know more about the farm that made the mochiko flour, the one that that Kari was showing, Koda Farms, there's a really great documentary about the family. It's called Seed the Rice King and His Kin. We actually brought the director here a few years ago to do a talk back. But yeah, it's a really interesting story.
That's super cool. I really
Yeah.
want to watch that. Is it on YouTube or is it like on?
I think it is. And I think also it's going to be maybe shown or available during the upcoming Amachi pilgrimage. So keep an eye out for that.
Wow, great.
There is a question. Somebody was wondering if they could freeze the brownies.
I think you can freeze the brownie, yeah, and then defrost it after. It might take a while to defrost, like maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Thank you.
Has anyone tried their brownie yet? Mine just came out of the oven, so still very hot. Thank you so much, everybody.
Oh my goodness, this is so great. A few more minutes. Oh. I don't know if you saw Caroline said she wished she had her camera on when she tasted her mochi because it was so good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Looks like Junko-san's gonna try her mochi brownie.
I will.
All right. We're gonna
Thank
let
you,
her-
Eric and Kaz and Jess and Elizabeth.
Getting out is a challenge here.
Getting the first one out is always the hardest.
Yeah.
That looks gooey and delicious, Junko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
So we try it. True. It's a lot more chewy, I should say.
Sure, there's a better Japanese onomatopoeia word that you could use.
Yes, mochi mochi. There is one. And a beer for this is mochi mochi.
Mochi mochi.
There is actually the word mochi mochi. It means like a baby's cheeks.
Oh
We
yeah.
call it a mochi mochi.
That's so cute.
I
Yeah, the
like
brownie gets more chewy, the cooler it gets too.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah.
So is it sort of like mochi cake that you get in Hawaii?
Like chichidango?
Uh-huh. Is it the
Yeah.
consistency like that?
It's kind of similar, I would say. Yeah, it does have aspects of that, but then also it has more of a cakiness like brownie. It's like halfway between chichidango and brownie, I would say.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Mhm.
Nice.
You know, chichidango is actually really strange in Japanese.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I
like,
don't know that. What is a chichidango?
I know.
It's like isn't chichi is like boobs or something?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that chichi. Okay.
The jiggles or something
Because-
they said.
Yeah, because
Chichi can be father.
Yeah.
oh, father.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a better way to think of it.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, I think because it's made with milk, so it's like milk coming from the breasts.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. That's just my guess. I don't know why it's called that officially.
Yeah. My Hawaiian cousin said it's because it kind of jiggles.
Oh my God,
So, I know.
that's really funny.
Okay. Good to
that
know,
note-
Anna.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
shall we wrap it up?
I think so.
Yeah.
Anybody else have questions? That'd be good.
I think we're
I
good.
hope you enjoyed all this and thank you very much.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, I think she froze.
Oh no. Okay, I'll complete Junko's sentence. Thank you all so much for joining us, but especially Cowardy, thank you so much for this. What a fun evening for all of us. It was really special. Thank you, Courtney, for introducing us to this wonderful program. Thank you to CGP for continuing to support all this great work all over the country. Yeah, so everybody buy this book and let us know what you make and send us pictures.
Hashtag, what is it? Wait, what is Japan American Society Colorado or
Hashtag Japan Colorado.
Japan Colorado? And then Kaori, what's yours?
Cowrie's Kitchen.
Kaori's Kitchen. So
right.
when you make stuff, hashtag both.
That's right. We'll find them and we'll share them.
Yay.
Great. Thank you all so
Thank
much. Have a
you.
wonderful
Thank
night.
you. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.